Welcome back to the show, everybody. This is the Shankly Sessions, the Liverpool podcast we bring you each and every week on the upper tier. Head over to YouTube there and smash that subscribe and bell notification button. Audio versions of the show, as always, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, and Spotify. You will find us there. And if you'd like to contact the show on Twitter at Sessions Shankly, or you'll get us on the upper tier podcast at gmail.com, Facebook and Instagram, the upper tier, and you'll also see us out there on TikTok, the upper tier as well. This is your match reaction and player ratings. Liverpool 3, Cardiff 1. Certainly a very interesting game. I knew it would be potentially hard work. Talking about a game of two halves. First half, we kind of struggled and we kind of laboured a little bit. Obviously, Cardiff were buoyant by 6,000 travelling fans who were very, very boisterous. Again, I'd say today the Anfield crowd were very, very quiet, especially after taking a hiatus and a 2-week break. Team looked very rusty, but I did like the lineup and I did like the look of the bench. I mentioned it out there on Twitter. I thought that was a really strong bench that we had there, probably one of the strongest we've had this season in terms of a bench. Great to see Elliott back on the bench there, and obviously Luis Diaz being named in the squad as well, only after joining us. I'm sure that got the faithful excited. But we started off laboured in the first half an awful lot. Passing was a little bit sloppy. Balls into the box were a little bit sloppy. And we really looked like a team that was a little bit rusty from the break, no doubt about it. Cardiff with a couple of opportunities in the first half, certainly an interesting one. The penalty shout against Konate on another day that could have went against us. I thought the player went down a little bit soft under the challenge. And then, we go into the second half. 0-0 down or 0-0 at halftime is not a great result really against Cardiff. We made hard work of it, even though they put up 2 banks of 4 and blocked us out. But we should have a bit of guile and a bit of cleverness to be able to unlock that. Again, I thought Jordan Henderson today in midfield, I thought he struggled a little bit. There was he just seemed a little bit out of the game slightly, I thought. Certainly first half. Second half, we come out. Kelleher, of course, with a challenge, first of all, little bit iffy. They looked at it both from a VAR point of view. They looked at it in terms of dangerous play and stuff like that and all, but got away with the yellow, and we were lucky there, as well as the Konate decision. Up at 53 minutes, Jota steps up, 1-0, sublime ball into the box from Trent Alexander-Arnold. He'd been struggling all day by putting balls in that weren't up to his level as usual, but Jota got on the end of this one. It always amazes me for Jota, like, he's one of the smaller guys on the pitch, and yet he always scores the headers, always bangs in a header, always in the right place at the right time, and of course the delivery was brilliant. On 68 minutes, Minamino cropped up, literally put a goal in right on the death of being subbed. Luis Diaz, of course, with the assist. So great to see him off the mark, even if it is only assist. But the way he turned the player there right on the byline and to deliver the ball across, came through Jota, Minamino running onto it and absolutely buries it. And then up on 76 minutes, the boy Harvey Elliott returns back in the side, controls the ball in the box, quick turn, bang, into the back of the net, as only Harvey Elliott does, made it 3-0. Absolute brilliant assist as well by Andy Robinson, who had come on for Timiskas. So yeah, then 80th minute, Ruben Caldwell steps up. Ball lost in midfield by Firmino, who I think had a poor game today, being honest. Loses the ball to Isaac Davis, who moves forward with the ball, plays the ball into Ruben Caldwell's path, who absolutely buries the ball. As good a finish as you'll see in any FA Cup tie, to make it 3-1. Ended up being a consolation. But it was just it was one of those games where it just, and it's been symptomatic of the FA Cup this weekend. Like, a lot of teams have really, really struggled. And I just thought we were another one of those as well. I thought Cardiff would give us a decent game, even though they've been struggling in the Championship. But they had come to Anfield, I think, on the back of 2 wins after poor form. So they were decent enough, and he did have to ring the changes. But we'll go into it. I mean, obviously, it's great to be in the next round now, and we see him by the draw. So we've Norwich at home in the next round, so that'll be an interesting tie as well. So the draw has been reasonably kind to us again, and we move along. We're still fighting on all four fronts. Let's get into the player ratings, which is always an interesting one to try and do, especially after a break of 2 weeks. And as we know, like, I mean, Mo and Mane are playing tonight in the AFCON Cup final, so I'm sure us Reds fans will be tuning in to see that. Who do we think will reign supreme? Will it be the Senegalese Mane, or will it be the Egyptian King Mo Salah? Certainly be interesting to see. My thinking is Senegal. I think they've played better as a team compared to Egypt. I think Egypt is void of a little bit of talent, with the exception of probably El Neni and Mo Salah. But we shall see. We'll look at that later on. I'm sure we'll do a quick review on it. Getting into the player ratings anyway, Caoimhín Kelleher, 6 out of 10. Not too bad, but very wild on that challenge and stuff like that. Made a good save, but no chance for the goal, and no clean sheet. Trent Alexander-Arnold, 7 out of 10. You know, had his full play. His full repertoire of play was on show today. Got an assist for the Jota goal. But again, at times wasn't exactly up to the level that he should be. And there was definitely a level of rustiness in the team today, returning from that break. Konate, 5 out of 10. Very lucky to survive that challenge with the VAR review. Only for your man went down a little bit soft. I think he got away with it. But clumsy collision with Harris. Also lost a couple of duels. Lost a couple of duels in the aerial side of things as well. So I think we need to see a stronger Ibrahima Konate in the future. Virgil van Dijk, 7 out of 10. Steady from him all the time. Doesn't even break a sweat. Always knows where to be. Rarely gets turned inside out. You know, just a typical steady display with him, you know, playing forward as often as possible and joining the attack and stuff, especially with Cardiff sitting back with 2 banks of 4 and stuff like that. Didn't have a lot to do today. Costas, give him a 7 out of 10. Always an option in the forward positions, always trying to push forward, always thinking that forward mentality all the time. Some really good balls into the box at times, but often let down by his teammates. He was subbed with 20 to go for Robbo, but put in a decent shift. But there was an interesting interaction between him and Hendo on that free kick, where he waved Hendo away for the free kick. In other words, to say, listen, my left peg delivery into the box is way better than yours. Hendo wasn't best pleased at all, being overruled as the captain. So be interesting to see that. But good to see Costas now messing around and stepping up and going waving Hendo away. So Jordan Henderson, the 7, kind of grew into the match. It took him time, but putting passes around and stuff like that and all, but we just expect a bit more from Hendo. He's the captain, don't we? Expect him to impress himself on the, press himself into the match and stuff like that, and really control it a bit better. And today, again, it just looked a little bit laboured. Keita gave a 5 out of 10 today. I mean, he was trying to probe and create and stuff like that, but his passing was so loose and his shooting was, really, really poor, and also got dispossessed a number of times and stuff like that. So again, weird for him to feel a little bit rusty coming back in, because I mean, he's coming off the back of the AFCON and stuff like that, but certainly looked like he needed minutes under his belt. Curtis Jones, 6 out of 10 as well. Spurred a lot of chances and stuff like that. Shooting boots weren't on today. It's basically hitting the rafters at times and stuff like that. But again, I do like the way at times his forward play is thinking and stuff like that. I mean, he's always positive in his play. But again, a boy who looked like he had been on holidays for 2 weeks. So 6 out of 10. Taki, worked hard, There's a lot of endeavour in Minamino and stuff like that at times, Give him a 7 out of 10. Really puts in a shift all the time, and came up and took his goal, lovely, put his goal away, lovely, latched onto it, ball in from Diaz across Jota and into him, absolutely buried it into the back of the net, and subsequently got substituted. But the gaffer seemed pleased with his work. He seemed pleased even coming off. There was high fives and a bit of celebration. So delighted that he got the goal. Firmino gave a 6-2. Dropped very deep to get involved. I don't know why he was dropping so deep to get involved when there was 2 banks of 4 with Cardiff. You know what I mean? But, battled hard at times, but also gave away that ball for that Cardiff goal as well, So I don't know what to make of Bobby. He just looks a bit, I don't know what it is. He's a bit lackluster at the moment. Not very inspiring and stuff like that. And I think it's one thing dropping deep when you're playing against top teams and stuff like that, but when you're dropping deep to pick up the ball against Cardiff, who are putting up a double block like that, I think it's just you're just not in the game and you're trying to force yourself into the game. But didn't do a whole lot today, to be honest with you. Just kind of went through the motions. Jota, I give an 8 out of 10. Absolutely brilliant, constantly turning people. Beautiful turn in the box in the early stages of the first half to get that shot away. Unlucky not to score. Hit it straight at the keeper. The header he took absolutely beautifully. I thought it was a great header in the box off Trent's cross in. But could have had another one or two as well. But still really, really, really playing well, and he's a man banging form. He was one of few on show today that didn't look rusty from the break, I have to say. Harvey came on, 8 out of 10. Great to see him back in there. We know he had played a real good game against Wrexham behind closed doors, so we knew this guy was ready to go and want to get involved. Absolutely brilliant finish the way he turned and absolutely snapshot that into the back of the net. And great to see him back off the away from that injury. And his passing and his movement was also excellent today too. So he's bang in form at the moment, and he is really a guy pushing for a starting place without a shadow of a doubt. Luis Diaz, 7 out of 10. Really clever assist on his debut and stuff like that. Turning, really, really quick feet, control of the ball, all that kind of good stuff you'd expect from that we had been seeing in clips and stuff like that. No, takes a little bit of time. I mean, he's only there. He's only at the club 3 days, I think it is at this stage. So he's probably only had maybe 2 training sessions with his teammates and stuff like that. But that understanding will come. Very, very lucky with the knee, though. That looked really nasty when the player went down on him with his foot through his knee. Klopp's fucking heart was in his mouth, I'd say, and stuff like that. And we were all looking going, Jesus. Then I looked at it, it was just an impact injury as opposed to an actual knee twist or anything like that. So he should be fine. But hearts and mouths, especially on a debut like that, you'd be thinking, Jesus, we've only signed this guy, we're going to lose him, 7 out of 10. Milner gets a 5 out of 10. Wasn't really on long enough, really, just coming on to stabilise and put a bit of experience out there. Robbo came on 6 out of 10, maybe 7 you could push. Nice assist. But yeah, Robbo came on, so nice for him to get minutes under his belt. And Thiago came on 5 out of 10, really. No real rating as such, didn't really create an impact on the game or anything like that. But a lot of these guys look like they are really rusty and they're going to need time under the belt. Next up for us is Thursday, as far as I know, it's Leicester. So they're going to need to put in a real good shift and a real good few training sessions in preparation for that, because you can't show up with that lackluster, rusty type of way come Thursday, because as you know, we're banging a title race here. We need to win every game we can now. We can ill afford to drop any points. Anything dropped now would really spell the end of a title race at this stage. Leicester again won't be easy. They'll put up a good show, but it's up to us to impose ourselves on the game. Great getting time under the belt with Luis Diaz. Not sure what happens now with Mane and Salah when they finish up tonight in the AFCON, probably fly home tomorrow, I would imagine. And then after that, it's whether they would be available for Thursday or whether Klopp would want to throw them straight back in. We'll have to wait and see. Certainly, we do have options there. Luis Diaz, Harvey Elliott back. I wonder, just will he stick with Firmino and stuff like that? His form at the moment is way off at the moment. He seems way off the pace of matches and stuff like that. Like a lot of the team today, a lot of them weren't really up to speed, to be honest. But we'll go again, Red Men. It's Leicester up next this week. Cheers. Thanks.